Hey everyone, thank you for choosing to spend time out of your day to listen to today's episode. I'm your host Zachary Aird, and let's get this playing. So today's guest is Alex Villi, and he is my teammate on our Ottawa men's basketball team. Do you want to introduce yourself, Alex?
Yeah, I feel like you did a pretty good job of introducing me. That's how we know each other, just on the team.
Yeah. So the whole reason that I wanted you on this podcast to learn more about my teammates, and you have stories that I don't know about, and other teammates have their stories, and I think everyone has a story to share, and I'm pretty sure you have one too. Yeah, and the way that we've been talking, you've always been telling me stories.
Yeah, true.
So you want to know, who are you? Like, where'd you come from? Who are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I grew up in California, obviously. Mm-hmm. So, and then basketball's kind of always been how I form my relationships. And then bounced around from a few colleges, D2s and stuff, and then ended up here. So, I like it here. So
yeah. So speaking of the D2 colleges, I remember finding out that you went to a college right before my friend from high school went to that college. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you guys went there at the same time. It's the Metropolitan.
MSU Denver, yeah.
So then that was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're all.
Everything, kind of. I've had a lot of situations like that with meeting new teammates and finding out who they played with, where they played at,
And I feel like that just comes from the basketball world of
Yeah, definitely. You know, especially when you're in such a, at this level, I feel like everyone kind of knows each other almost.
You're talking about the NAIA level.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody definitely.
All kind of had the same uprising through school,
Yeah, same old.
Yeah.
And when you have kids, my kids are gonna know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless your kids are in the NBA,
Well,
give me a shout out.
We can hope.
Yeah, we can hope. I mean, you already got the height, so.
Yeah.
So where was the first college that you went to out of high school?
So my first college actually was MSU Denver, and then, my whole situation out of high school was kind of screwed up when I went out there, because I was hoping to end high school, have my whole summer, and then kind of get prepared for college. But I had to be out there right when summer started, because we went to a tournament in Costa Rica. So I really had no downtime after high school. And I think that kind of screwed me up. And that's part of the reason why I left, because I just wasn't ready to leave home yet. So
everything happened so fast.
Yeah, I was just out. I went through the whole summer there and went to Costa Rica, had a blast down there, and went home after that for a couple weeks, then had to go back to school. And it was man, I never really got to grow into this college thing. And then I was told I was going to redshirt, and I kind of still had that ego in me, I'm too good to redshirt, I don't want to do this. And then I left after a month, I think, and then came back, and I was I don't think I even want to play basketball anymore. And then went to community college, and then obviously the hunger for the game came back. And then
and the community college is where some of our teammates, our past teammates, went to that college too. Which what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Max and Dan.
Well, I actually went to a different community college first.
Oh, okay.
I went to a community college back home and was just going to school. I was just gonna get my degree and whatever. And then
they were "You're pretty tall. You want to play basketball?" Or
no. And then the D2 in my hometown reached out to me, because we had been talking in high school too. He was like, "Hey, I hear you're not playing basketball anymore. Why is that?" And then we kind of started talking, and then he offered me, and I went out there, and then. It was just kind of a bunch of stuff piled on top of each other, family stuff and stuff like that. And I just wasn't ready to give my all to the game. So then class stuff got on top of me, and I had to leave there. And that's when I went to Santa Monica, the JUCO, where we know a couple guys that went there. Yeah.
Yeah. That is pretty crazy how, you were saying with the basketball world and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about why you went through so many transitions, or is it because you weren't ready?
Yeah, I don't. It's
what was that transition like? Because some people are going through what you just explained.
And it wasn't I don't want to say I had to leave the places when I left them, because I definitely could have persevered and just stayed there. And because people fight through stuff like that all the time. And maybe I was a little bit naive in leaving and childish almost. But yeah, when I left my first D2, it was because I told you wasn't ready for it. Then went to Fresno Pacific, and my grandpa started having health issues, and I was worried about that. And it was in the height of COVID, so we were all online. and I was staying at home, and the D2 was like 30 minutes away from me, and I'd have to drive there 3 times a week to go get tested, drive home, then drive back to practice.
Sheesh.
And it was just like taxing, and then I let my classes kind of get away from me.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't going to be able to play there anymore.
It was just a bunch of stuff like stumbling onto
Yeah,
you.
it just felt like everything was kind of falling on top of me a little bit.
And you being so young, I mean,
yeah,
you know,
19.
I would have been out the game like, I'm done with this.
And I was lucky enough to where after leaving 2 D2s without even playing a game that JUCO even took a chance on me, but they did, and then obviously ended up here.
Yeah, and that's good that you never burned those bridges because
definitely.
They remembered who Alex Villi is, and I definitely know.
Yeah.
Funny story about you is that when you were getting recruited to come here or to Ottawa, you came to our first open gym. Yeah. And we were like, you started shooting around, and I was like, who is this? Redhead, right? And I was like, there's no way. What is Keely doing? And then you're shooting it, but then open gym started, and you couldn't hit a shot.
No,
but
couldn't hit one to save my life.
I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, wow.
But I was like, oh my god, like like if I'm hitting shots. Yeah. But I was like, Alex, hit a shot. Yeah, I didn't know you. But we were all dabbing you up, and then I think it was like the second open gym you came to, something, and you just lit it up, and I was like, what in the like?
It was. I remember
if that was a tryout, you were.
Oh my god! Yeah. And Keely told me after that, he's like, "Don't think this is a tryout." I was like, "Good," because if it is, then take away whatever offer you had for me.
So that's funny that he explained because that's how I remember.
It was bad. Like, I went back to the hotel. I was like, I got to give it up again.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I quit.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny because I remember. When I remember people, I remember the first time seeing them, and that was your first interaction with me. Yeah. But I remember you playing so good with us, even though you were missing. You were still playing. I think we went on a run.
Yeah, I think so. I think we.
Because I remember McKay was on our team.
Yeah.
It was me, you, McKay.
Yeah.
I think Ev, and one more.
Yeah.
I think Colt. It was all.
Colt.
I think it was all white dudes.
Yeah.
I think it was all white
Yeah.
dudes, and we were killing it. But then, everyone was hitting their shots, but the only person we didn't know who to play with was you.
Yeah.
And
I remember the first 2 possessions, someone drove baseline, and like.
You got yammed on?
No, I made a 45 cut, and I got it, and I dunked it. I was like, oh, I'm about to have a day.
Yeah, see, that's how I remember. I was like.
And then it just.
I was like, forget the shooting.
Downhill from there.
Yeah, I said, forget the shooting. The kid just dunked. But yeah, I thought that was pretty special. Yeah. Of how I first saw you, or how everyone first saw you.
Yeah, everyone.
And it's funny that Keely even brought that up.
And even Dev, because obviously me and Dev are super close now.
Yeah.
He told me, like, after we became friends, he was like, they kind of told me who you were, and before I even met you, I didn't like you. I was like, why?
Yeah, Dev is a weirdo.
No, and he was like, well, they said another shooting wing that's coming in that doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that's kind of fair, I guess.
Yeah.
But like now, like we're super close.
Yeah. You guys are probably the closest. Or I mean, between you and Joe, you guys are
probably like me, Joe, me,
friends.
Dev, me, Ev. Those like, yeah.
And that's another story that I have is me and Jordan. And it was that same day, but it just came to my mind. But we were in the locker room, and Coach Brew, I think, was showing you locker room, or Coach Keeley. And I don't know if you remember, Jordan was in there, and I was sitting where I was at.
I don't know.
And you were just putting your shoes on, and I remember looking at Jordan like who is this weirdo? Like, we didn't want to say hi because we didn't know who you are.
Yeah.
And then you didn't want to say hi because you're like, you're new.
Yeah.
Like, we should have been the people like,
yeah,
hey,
but
what's
still,
up, man?
I mean, that's how it is with recruits. Like, they don't want to.
Because you're already comparing. You're like,
I just like walked in the gym. I was trying to feel everybody out, see what they did well. But
who's your first memory of? You said Dev, kind of. I mean, not really Dev, but who's your first memory of coming in? You're like
on my visit.
Yeah, on your visit.
I remember Colt went crazy in the open gym.
Oh my god,
Colt! I was like, he's the best player I've ever seen. It was ridiculous. And he would, I was like, I'll just give him the ball. That's really
him during open gyms is the weirdest.
It's
like ridiculous. You just get out the way.
Yeah,
because when he's gonna go into a men's league or wherever he goes after,
it's gonna be scary.
Yeah, I'm sorry if whoever plays him, but that's definitely done. Yeah, because he has the old man strength of, the cowboy strength.
Cowboy strength.
And then top it with the shooting. I was like, bro.
It was. I remember because obviously I knew Joe before I came.
Yeah.
And he wasn't at the open gym, and he texted me after. He's like, who played well? Or he asked me like if I played well. I was like, no, not at all.
Yeah,
he's like, well, who played well? I was like, I don't know. This white boy is insane, bro. He was like, who? And then I think his name is Colton. He's like, oh yeah, Colt's tough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Colt. there was one year of I think it was my sophomore going to junior year, and he was literally isoing every time. It was him and Jace isoing against each other, and I was like, okay, like I'm just sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
But it was crazy to watch. Like these
yeah.
guys are so.
Yeah.
You know,
that's some of the best things on the court when you're just like, even when you're not involved in it, just watching two guys go at it. It's like so entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with standing in the corner.
Yeah, especially two guards. It's not like Joe going
post
off on
work,
me.
just a bunch of hooks and stuff.
I'm like, all right, bro, I know you can score. Hands me the ball, signs it. So that goes into my next question. And when joining the team, who did you see that inspired you? And you kind of said Dev a little bit. But, like, who on the team makes you, like, not get up in the morning, but, man, he's doing stuff that I should be doing, and he inspires me?
Yeah, I mean, well, initially that guy was obviously Joe, just because I already had that relationship with him going into it. So he's the one that kind of got me going and got me, like, feeling good with the team. Because even my first, like, month out here, I wasn't that comfortable.
Yeah.
I was, like, nervous going into open gyms, nervous even going to, like, weights and stuff, just because on my visit I saw Coach Hearn and how he ran things. I was like, I'm not going to be able to handle that. You're not
surviving.
Yeah. And then so initially it was Joe. He definitely helped through a lot of stuff. And then once I kind of formed that relationship with Dev, seeing him as like a leader and how just it's kind of like selfless in the way he makes sure others around him are doing well, that's kind of who pushes me more so now. Because I'm a type of player where, like, if I'm not playing well, I'm going to get down on myself.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like I can't do anything right. And he's someone who can, like, pick you up. I mean, everyone on the team kind of picks each other up. But being that we have that, like, close relationship, it's easier for him just to tell me, like, hey, what are you doing? Like, let's go.
Yeah. Like,
and I'm not going to say anything to him. Like, we have that kind of respect for each other to where it's.
I always tell you not to think of the past, but, like, come on, man. You made 10 threes in a game. Some people are hitting that for a whole year. 10 threes a whole year. You did it in one game, so.
Yeah. Well, had enough
don't get down on yourself, I'm saying right now.
Yeah, no, true.
But you had said Joe and Dev, and they're kind of our two leaders.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it, the way, like, in my position of the team, like, how I oversee it, is that Joe is kind of not our mental leader, but our physical leader. Like, I'm going to show you.
Yeah, like an on the court.
Yeah.
When it comes strictly to basketball type leader. Yeah.
But then Dev is that leader of, let's get the guys together.
Exactly.
You know, he's the one that's going to format the meetings.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one distributing.
Yeah. And kind of making sure everyone's good, going into stuff. Yeah.
And he's definitely the type of person that takes a lot on him. Because you rarely see him get down on himself.
Yeah, never.
But you can see it deep down. Like, he needs someone to push him too.
Exactly. And he's in a very tough spot in that it's kind of on him to get everyone else going. Like, even the coaches will come to him and be like, what's wrong with so-and-so?
Yeah.
We got to get so-and-so going. And it's kind of on him.
Yeah. It's kind of like, man, I'm not supposed to be worried about that guy.
Yeah. It's like, I got to worry about stuff on my own. But then he gets like almost
he's got
everyone's
12 guys.
plate.
Yep. He's got 12 guys in his head.
Yeah.
I think that's so special about Dev.
Yeah.
Because we know Joe can dominate a game.
Exactly.
But Dev can dominate a game by showing.
He can, like, vocally dominate a game, mentally dominate a game. Yeah, definitely.
And that's the thing that I like about him.
Yeah. And every team needs a guy like that. And luckily we have one.
Yeah, luckily we have Devin.
Yeah.
So, to what I was saying, who is your three most influential people from childhood to
just in my life?
Yeah, to who you are now as a 21-year-old. It could be I said people, but it could be a dog but I don't know if it's most influential.
I love my dog, but I don't know how influential he is.
What's your dog's name?
Buck.
Buck?
Yeah. He's a big old Doberman.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
How big is he?
He's a big baby though.
Oh, okay.
He's like 130 pounds. He's huge, but he's a
Great Dane.
Basically, someone walks in the door, he's gonna cower. It's kind of ridiculous.
He's as big as Joe then. Like Joe goes over the best friends.
Yeah. Probably the most influential would be my grandpa. He was just always someone I looked up to.
Yeah.
And was always someone that I could, like, go to with anything, even though I feel like I can go to either of my parents with anything. But he would give me kind of a non-parental perspective on things. Because a parent, like, you tell them something you did wrong, they might get mad. They might, like, worry about you, kind of. My grandpa was always, like, while telling me how to deal with it, just, like, remaining positive, kind of. And that was always, like, huge for me. Yeah, he was a huge part of
Okay.
my life. Yeah.
Did he play basketball?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Well, like, obviously a long time ago because he's my
Yeah.
grandpa, but
Yeah. There was no
yeah.
3-point line.
No, yeah.
He
And
wasn't shooting.
No, yeah, he was probably my biggest like supporter through high school.
Mhm.
All that would always like, obviously the game has changed since when he played, so
Yeah.
he would tell me things and sometimes I wouldn't take him too
Get to
seriously.
the
Like,
cup, son.
yeah, like work on your sky hook. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shoot a
Come
hook
on,
shot. I'm not Kareem. Yeah. Yeah, no, he was a huge part of, I mean, obviously basketball, but just my life in general. He taught me how to be like, just be a good human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And care for other people. Because he's the most caring person that I have ever been around.
Yep.
Like, it's always other people before himself. And I think that's like been ingrained in me a little bit, even though I can be selfish. I know I can. And yeah, it's just, I feel like he's made our family like just a lot of good humans, and it's because of him. So that's why I look at him as like the most influential.
Before you get into your next two, this last episode that I was talking to my sister about it, and we were both explaining that as our parents, it's their first time being a parent.
Yeah.
And it's our first time like being a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you only get it once.
Yeah.
But when you see parents and they're telling you what to do and stuff, that's their first time going through that.
Yeah.
And then I was basically explaining to her that like our nana and tata, our grandpa and grandpa, that's their like third time going through it, and they're so wise enough to be like, I know what to tell them.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Like you said, it's a parent's first time doing things, and I've like been in situations, not with me, with my brother. I've seen situations where my parents are dealing with stuff with my brother.
Yeah.
And I'll see how my dad handles it, and then he would get on the phone with my grandpa and tell him the situation, and then my grandpa would kind of say, "Oh, I don't know if I would have done all that. Like, he's just a kid." That's kind of,
they're gonna do that type of.
He's like, "You don't remember when you were a kid?" And then my dad's like, "All right, I guess I made some dumb decisions too." Yeah.
So that's funny that you brought that up, because I'm the younger brother of my brother, and you're the older brother.
Yeah.
So that dynamic of, because there's things that my brother couldn't do, like have a phone in middle school, you know, and then I get a phone.
Yeah.
In sixth grade.
What's the age difference between you and your brother?
3 years. 3 years.
Oh, okay. So me and my brother are 4. So it's kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
was special because when he was a senior, or he started school early, so he really should have been a junior while I was a freshman, but he was a senior while I was a freshman. So I got to do everything with him.
Yeah.
Through high school, not in middle school, but yeah, he's always been like the older brother bully. Telling me what to do.
And I didn't get that with my brother because I was a freshman in college when he was a freshman in high school. So we're missing it by 1 year every level we go to. But
you should have got held back.
Yeah, me? No.
Yeah, guys on the same team.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So you want to explain the next two?
Yeah.
Influential people?
And then I'd probably have to go with my dad. I know it's all family oriented, and like I don't really have one outside of my family, I don't think. But yeah, my dad, because I mean, if I said my grandpa's the most influential, then he obviously influenced my dad in some aspect. So my dad's gonna influence me. It's just a trickle effect. But yeah, my dad, another just person that puts others before himself, and he's always like looking out for his friends, his family. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's done a good job in raising me and my brother, even though we're both idiots and do a lot of dumb stuff. Yeah. But
your dad's going to be listening to this and being like, oh, you better talk
definitely,
about me nice.
Definitely. Oh, there's some stories I could tell that.
I want to hear. Yeah, I want to hear
about my dad.
Yeah.
I don't know which direction I want to go in because I could.
Is it going to get me canceled?
Get you canceled?
Or
it
you
might.
canceled?
It'll get him canceled.
We're going to get kicked off the team at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, no. Or I'll just get whooped by my dad.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can I watch? I'll bring the podcast to the
room.
Yeah.
Just I'll sneak a mic in when I go tell him I told all the stories, and you just hear punching.
It's him re-saying the stories all the time.
Yeah. No, he was. I feel like he'd be comfortable with me saying it. So, he was a basketball player going up, but he had a career-ending injury in a car accident. So in I think his second year of college, and then after that he just was like, I'm gonna live the college lifestyle. So he was like partying a lot, doing all that stuff, and then so he had always drinking a good amount, and then this just kind of points to the type of person he is. For 12 years of my life,
Yeah.
alcohol was affecting his life, and I never knew it. He
Oh,
wouldn't.
wow.
He wouldn't let us see that.
He would hide it from you.
Yeah,
Kinda.
not
Not hiding.
not
but
hide it, but you know what I mean. Like
the kid don't deserve to see this. Kind of
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
Like, and then him and my mom had a conversation that I didn't know about till 2 years ago. My mom was telling me, and she told him like it's like you gotta give that up or give us up, and then immediately like that day, he hasn't had a sip of alcohol since. And then
yeah, congrats to your dad.
I know
That's a big.
It takes a lot
Yep.
too. Yeah, so that's why. I mean, I'm in college. I'm 21. He
You
doesn't
understand the aspect.
Yeah, and he doesn't expect. He's not like one of those guys that once he turns sober, he's like, "You can't drink. I don't want you to turn into me." But he's very wary of like what I get into, making sure I'm safe, all that. So
He doesn't want you to make the same mistake he did.
yeah, and obviously they're very different situations. When he was growing up, my grandpa worked. He commuted, and he would just stay where he was where he commuted.
Yeah.
And my dad and my brother, at the ages of like 17 and 14, lived by themselves. And they said, my dad said they were just throwing like parties all the time. My
Yeah.
grandpa
They
came
were
home
throwing
one day,
dangers in.
like 8:30 in the morning on like a
Oh,
Friday. My dad was asleep on the roof with a keg next to him. And I was like,
That's not mine.
yeah, no. And then, so yeah, so he's kind of on me to be smart about it. And then sometimes I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you fell asleep on the roof with a keg. I think I can go out and have a couple drinks with my friends, Dad. Like, yeah. So I'll turn it on him sometimes, but no, he's
don't use it on him.
yeah, no. I jokingly, I've never done it like super serious. Yeah,
I've never
but
done that.
you know, he's definitely been super influential. And then third, I'd probably just say my mom. Like,
Yeah. Who wouldn't put their mom? I
Yeah.
was gonna say you're gonna be in big trouble.
no.
if she's listening
I
to
would
this.
no. She knows. She's because
Alex, you didn't put me on.
yeah, I wouldn't have heard the end of it. But again, she's like I mean, she's Russian, so you kind of have to be
Oh, she's Russian.
just full Russian, 100%
Okay.
Russian. Yeah, so Russians are usually like stereotyped as like mean and strong.
Yeah.
And she definitely has like that side to her, but she's the nicest woman like in
Yeah.
the world. Yeah. And again, like everyone else in my family, she values being a good human. You know what I mean? Just like, I feel like the main thing in my family is like put others before yourself. Like, and that's something that everyone in my family kind of goes by. Even my uncles who aren't my uncles, like, you know, my dad's best friends growing up that I call uncles, like 12 of them I have.
Yeah.
And they're all
uncles.
yeah, no, a ton. And then they're all like the same kind of when it comes to that. Just I've just been around good people growing up, so I feel like it'd take a lot on my end to screw up down the road. You know what I mean? Like it'd all be on me.
Yeah, like breaking that generation.
Yeah, no, like none of my surroundings could influence if I have a bad life down the road. It'd be all on me because of the upbringing and people I've been around. Definitely.
So, yeah. More?
No, I'm good.
So you said your grandpa, your dad, and your mom.
And my mom.
The most influential people.
Definitely, yeah.
So just like childhood, or like I was saying, your three most influential people, what is the hardest thing that you had to go through? And you kind of explained like COVID, because for me, I'm not going to say I loved COVID, but I love like being alone. I love the aspect of, but it still gets worried because I had family living with us. Like I lived in a Mexican household where my mom is the oldest, and it was like 10 of us in a house, which sounds like, you know, like, 10 during COVID, like we were going crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, those months where I was like, man, family is all you got. And
yeah, no, definitely.
Those bad times. And like I said, I'm not going to say I love COVID, but COVID was a great aspect to just be aware as a college student. And like, you only get so much time. You know, I feel like it was someone telling us like,
value what you have around you.
Because it made you like, you didn't have to go to school. You didn't have to go do homework. You didn't have to do anything. And I was like, every night was dinner. Yeah. Like every night was watching TV with the family. It was always family all around.
It definitely did teach you like, well, every situation is different. Not everyone lives with all their family and everything, but it definitely did like teach you how to conversate with family and like keep in touch with family. Because a lot of my like dinners at home before COVID was like, okay, dinner's ready, sit down, scarf down my food, let me get back to what I was doing, playing video games or whatever. But then you were around family all day. You like had to talk to them. Not like it's a chore to talk to your family, but
like you're not. What are you doing, brother?
And it's like, all right, let me go talk to my brother about just whatever. Yeah. So,
what was the hardest thing that you had to go through? And it could, like I said, it could be anything.
The hardest?
Yeah, the hardest.
was probably
I'm not like
no,
I
no.
gotta click the more than 18-year-old button.
Yeah, parental advisory.
Yeah.
No, the hardest, truly hardest, even though it didn't last for crazy long, was probably losing my grandpa. Just because obviously, I guess he's the most influential person in my life.
Yeah.
And he passed kind of like suddenly, so it wasn't expected. Like I was preparing to know in the months leading up to his death that like I would be able to prepare for it, but it was just one morning.
Yeah.
And then so that like that few weeks around that time was really like
Hard.
really rough, and I didn't know how to deal with it because that was the first person that I was close to that had passed. So I didn't really know what I was like doing to deal with it, and I would tell myself I was fine. And then it was during summer too, so summer between high school and college.
Yeah.
Like
and
that
summer's just like such a great.
and and it's like, so I'm going to these like day parties and stuff, and like just having fun with my friends, drinking and stuff, and then that's what alcohol does to you. You drink enough, and then feeling starts like weigh on you a little bit. And it was not every night because we didn't party every night. I'm not an animal. But
You're not an animal.
No. But like when I would go out with my friends, I'd just be like getting drunk and stuff, and then everything at once would just fall on me. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a few parties I would like go like walk away and like start crying, and I'd be like, I just gotta go home. Like so that was tough for a few weeks. I didn't know how to deal with it.
Was it almost like you were trying to numb it away?
Kind of, I think.
In a way.
And I was during that time I was dating a girl, and we had been dating for like a year and a half. And I was like, during that time I was like pushing her away too when she was like trying to help, which I like eventually led to us breaking up. So yeah, it was weird for me. Just I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like.
And I feel like that just happens with that, because I lost family members when I was really young. So it's an easier path to take, because you start to learn like this is what happens. But I understand what you're saying because like I saw my mom, like my nana, go through that of like they're losing their uncle or their sister, and I'm like, man, because it doesn't only affect them, it affects
everyone around them.
Like you were saying with the girl that you had, it was affecting her.
Yeah, definitely.
Like even though that she's not part of the family, it just trickles down.
No, absolutely.
And it's just like a grief of.
It is, and that's why. Like I didn't know how to deal with it, and I think my dad was kind of going through the same thing, but he was way better at it than me. Yeah. I didn't see him cry throughout the whole process, and it was kind of like hurting me. Yeah. I was like, that's your dad. Like, you loved him to death. And my uncle, who, like, my dad's real brother, he's just he'll just cry no matter what.
He's probably
it could be like a Tuesday, and he made like a good looking salmon, and he'll start crying. And then
he's got a soft spot.
Yeah. So he's like, I saw him cry a bunch. And then my dad just wouldn't like break emotionally. And then we were at his, like the, whatever.
Is it the hospice or?
No. It was after he died. We were at, what's the thing you go to after the funeral?
Yeah, where they pray and all that.
Yeah, like the post service or whatever.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever. So we went to that, and then we went back to my uncle's house for like a little get together. All the people that went to the funeral, and it was like really late. It was just family left, and then something like clicked in my dad, and he just started like
bawling,
losing it. And I was like, okay, so he's doing the same thing I am. Like he doesn't know how to handle it really.
Yeah.
And then from then on, I kind of understood that it's like okay not to know how to deal with it, that it kind of happens to everyone.
Yeah.
And then I went through my whole thing, and then obviously you can't dwell on things forever. Like, so I got used to it after a while, but that was probably the hardest thing I've had to go through. Obviously COVID was tough, all that stuff was tough. I've had basketball, it's tough stuff, but that was definitely the like most demoralizing thing I've gone through.
So when did it happen when your grandpa passed? Was it before COVID or after?
No, it was. I'm kind of losing track of when COVID was.
COVID was 2020, like beginning March 2020, or
Damn. It was 2021, I think.
So the year after.
Yeah, May of 2021, because. Yeah, May of 2021. So, I think COVID, at least where I was from, it wasn't like that pressing anymore. Like no one was wearing masks, I don't think, at that time. So. Yeah, that was definitely the hardest. Yeah. But
Because like any death in any family is always,
and it's the thing is you know it's part of life. Like it's coming.
And that's the thing that's most scary about
Yeah,
it. Is
exactly.
Like, we're gonna have grandkids who are gonna maybe be doing podcasts and like talking about us.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's gonna. But I mean, it feels like everyone once they get to that age though, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Like I know right now I'm not. I'm scared of it. The thought of dying.
Yeah.
But everyone, I feel like it's just like a maturity thing, understanding like
you
going through life. Yeah.
Yep.
And once you get to that age, you're like, like it could happen, and I'd be ready for it. So
we talked about that a little bit at our last trip about how death is, like we're both scared of death. Like anyone is scared of death, like at our age, because we know that we have so much to offer to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So we talked about it like, because really our faith, right? Because you believe in okay.
Yeah.
So then like our faith is like, eternity with God, but then in the back of your mind like, oh, what if that's not even real? Like, what if it's just a black hole? You're just gone forever.
Yeah.
Like, and then will people remember you? Like, who's gonna lay down your foundation of like Alex Villi,
exactly.
Zachary Aird?
And part of it for me isn't even like, what if it's nothingness? I truly believe that it will be like eternal life in heaven, and obviously I don't know how that's gonna look.
Yeah.
But the thing that scares me is like there's no like
time.
It's like I don't know, just like what we're doing right now. There's no more of that. I feel like, you know what I mean? Just like
like there's no dates.
Yeah.
What you're talking about?
Yeah,
like
kind of. There's no like
perfect.
Yeah.
That
I don't. Yeah. Well, part of that is just because I don't know what the eternal life is gonna look like.
Because if we did know, then I don't think this would be life. Like
it wouldn't. Then it'd just be like one continuation of life. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely scary, but I've come to terms with it more and more as I've grown up. But I'm still very scared of it.
Because there's also questions like, there's always people saying, what would you ask God when you see him? Like, why did that happen to me? Or why did COVID happen? Or, all those deep questions. Like, why did you take someone away from me that I loved? All those questions that I start to think about of, man, life is hard.
Yeah.
And because, that like the Bible says, it's like when you get to heaven, everything's holy of holy. You're with peace with yourself.
Yeah.
And it's just
like part of that, why, like when people are always asking God, why did you take this person away from me? Why did you put me through this? I've asked my dad about that, because I'm not gonna lie, there was a point in my life where I was like straying away from believing in God a little bit, and I was like, well, this kid has cancer. Why, if God was real, why would he put him through that?
Yep.
And he just told me, not everyone's situation is going to be the same. God is going to put people through tests, and God is going to put the people around those people through tests through them. And it's just kind of not like the price you have to pay, because that kind of sounds, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
not like it's the world we live in, but it's like this is life.
Yeah.
And this is what God had to go
life,
through.
Because I think if it were life was just the easiest thing in the world, and there was no sickness and there was no death and all that, we wouldn't be able to appreciate like the good things in life.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The failures and how we're down so bad. And
I think that's a big part of like faith, is really understanding the good things that you get along with dealing with the bad.
Because the good things could be anything. It could be bad season, or school is bad, dropout, and what comes out of it. Like, are you a dropout CEO now?
Yeah.
And I just think those things are special, and how you're overcoming it. And now it, like, every time I talk to you, I never knew that your grandpa passed, but you've always talked around it.
Yeah.
But you could just see it, like your grandpa's living through you, of like putting people up before you. Like you don't have to join this team and be like the perfect teammate.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say perfect teammate, but you are a really good teammate of like adapting to our system. Like you don't have to do that, and that's what your grandpa instilled into you, of like help the next man up.
Yeah, exactly.
Or God, like.
And I in no way do I think I'm even really good at it, but it's like I know it's in my brain to like I want to put others before me. Yep. And that was definitely because of him.
Because if you're not putting, then what's the point?
Yeah, if it's all about you, then
you should have went to go play tennis or
I've been a golfer, even though I do like golf. I wouldn't mind playing golf, but
you do like. Are you good at golf? Because I've seen you. Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, because the way your snaps be looking, I'm like, no, this guy's at golf. Like, I wouldn't play golf if I'm bad at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, there's like bad, And then there's
Okay, so you know how to swing a
once you understand how to swing a club and like
Yeah.
how to play the game, then there's bad within that, and I'm bad within that. Like I can put somewhat of a round together sometimes, but
So if you went to the waste management right now, you would be last, or
by a mile, by a
You're
long
not-
shot.
You're not hitting the driver. It's,
No.
my balls will probably hit the water. Like Top Golf, I'm not even making it to the holes.
Yeah, no, I'd be playing.
Yeah. Like
Putt out
my girl
there.
has a better swing than me at
Yeah.
Top Golf, and I'm like, can we just go bowling or something next time? Like,
Yeah.
I just think it's the funniest. I just
Yeah.
can't golf. But there's a certain technique to golf, and I mean, I guess we can get into that of how golf and us being shooters is the same thing. You know what I'm talking about? Because I
Get
went,
into it a little bit. Let me hear
yeah,
it.
because I went golfing with my Nino, which is a Theo, which is uncle, right? So I didn't know if you knew. Because I'm saying
I
like
did.
Nana and Tata. And
I
don't know.
appreciate it, though.
Okay.
Tell me.
So what's a Nana and Tata? Like your grandpa?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
okay.
knew that.
So my Nino, he'll take us golfing, but we haven't got invited, so that's telling me like if he's listening right now, he's probably like, yeah, this guy's trash. so right, we'll swing, but then the feeling that you get of like just you, it's almost like a free throw. I'm trying to relate it to basketball,
Okay.
and it's just like you, ball, club,
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like a sense of like, because if you're a real golfer, people around you, quiet sign.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that is with me with shooting of like, I don't know if you do it, but when I'm starting to shoot, like in a game, in a thing, I don't hear anything.
Really?
It's like everything is blocked. And it's the
Really?
weirdest thing. It's like time is slow.
As you're going up.
As I'm going
I've felt
up.
that before, but I've never really been able to not hear like the people in the stands.
I can't hear.
Really?
But like if I shoot in front of a bench, like, I don't know if you remember the BYU game.
Yeah.
If I shoot
They
in
were
front of the
talking
bench,
crazy.
yeah, I can hear people behind me, but I can't hear like crowd. I can't.
Okay.
It like block. I don't know what
it kind of
is.
just like meshes together and
meshes
just
together,
into like some
and it's just
white
I just
noise
see-
almost. Yeah.
I just see orange rim.
Okay.
I don't know if you said that you kind of
I
because there's definitely the type of games where you're like in your flow.
that's more when I get it. Like if I'm feeling good and I'm like
Yeah.
shooting it well and I'm in a groove, then kind of everything cancels out a
Distorts.
little bit. Yeah. Or
Lose
like,
sense
yeah,
of
kind of
time.
distorts is a good word. But just like at the beginning of the game, I hear everything. If someone says something to me in like the 19th row,
you're
about-
Alex Villi.
yeah, something like bad, I hear it and I'm thinking about that like the next 3 possessions.
Yeah, because
So,
in high school, I didn't really get to that point in high school until like my senior year of, because I was the type of person to be like, what's that guy thinking of me? Or
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, you get on the court like shooter, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm pretty good. You know, like, you know those videos,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm so good. But yeah, every time I shoot, it's like, and I think that's how golf is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, golf is very quiet.
Yeah.
But it's like a peaceful.
Definitely.
But it's not peaceful for me because I can't golf. So
Yeah,
the,
no.
the beginning part of swinging a club is beautiful, but
Yeah.
after that, when it hits the water or my Nino makes
Yeah.
me go fetch the ball, and
Go
I'm like, we
fetch
have
the ball.
50 balls, and you want me to go get that pink one in
Hey,
the
man,
dirt.
golf balls are expensive.
Yeah, and he has to pay for my lefty golf club. So
Oh, I didn't think
The
about that.
rental?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
every time I go with him, he's like, oh, you could just drive the car. I'm like, all right.
you just chauffeur me.
Yeah. I'm all like washing his club because he has the Redskins club.
You go pull the pin for him.
Yeah, start putting the ball.
You're just giving him like the worst reads of all time.
I start doing the math where I'm like,
Yeah.
this is what you're scoring. But yeah,
yeah.
that's funny. So that's leading to my next question. This is what I was explaining.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know how it leads to it, but are you the person that tends to be in the present, or are you a person that tends to be like future and past?
Oh, future and past, definitely.
Future and past.
Yeah, 100%. If I miss a shot, I'm thinking about that shot until I shoot my next one. And if I make a shot, I mean, everyone on the team kind of knows. If I make a shot the next time down, I'm probably
yeah.
going to shoot it.
Yeah.
Like, because I just feel like, yeah.
You make one shot, it's a heat check. The next
Kind
one
of,
comes
yeah,
down. Like,
like-
wait, yo. 29 seconds
so,
left.
no, I'm definitely past and future. And I'll even go into games thinking about, like, what I want to do at halftime, what I want to do by the end of the game. Kind of like mapping out the game.
Instead of letting it come.
Exactly. And
freely.
that kind of gives me problems sometimes. Like, I'll go into a game, I'm like, I feel good. I'm going to have a good game from the start. And then I'll come out after that first subbing, and I, like, won't have done anything, and it kind of, like, drains
Dwells
me a
on
little
you.
bit. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I felt good. Why am I not performing? And then so I've been working on with Coach Brett. He said, you have to just let the game come to you.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
The only thing you can affect is what you do at that moment.
I like Coach Brett, man.
Yeah, so very, very mental,
Yeah,
mental coach.
Like everything that he says
Yeah.
is like, gosh, I wish I like said it first because now he looks like, you know, he looks like, oh yeah, he knows, and I'm like, oh man, I know exactly what he's gonna say.
You got to start just.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
You got to start running our whatever we call him. What do we call him? Mental.
I don't know.
What do we call
practice?
him? No, when he comes in and does all the writing on the board.
We call it like
something. You got to start doing those.
Mindset training. Yeah,
from the
God taught to me right there.
But from the grandstands over here.
Yeah, I don't know. We had an audience.
Yeah,
someone's excited. But yeah, our mindset training is like everything that he brings in. I'm like, God, and then I know exactly where he brought it from.
Yeah,
is like, you know.
Yeah. But
I think that's pretty special because I talked about it in one of the episodes. I don't know if you ever listened. But I was like, yeah, he's on the podcast, but does he listen? So then it was like, have you ever watched The Last Dance? Please tell me you did. The Last Dance, like
yes, the Michael Jordan one,
yeah. And they're in the locker room, and they're talking about Kobe and the All-Star game.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
And they're like, man, Kobe, the little Laker boy, goes after the game, like, he'll take 100 shots.
Yeah.
And then they're, like, basically saying, like, oh, Jordan and Hardaway are the type of people, like, let the game come to them. And that's where I kind of got it from. Because that was peak COVID, where I was like, man, there's so much left to the game, like, which is mental training. Yeah. And like I've said, so many athletes get down on themselves, like with the shots they take, with the shots they miss. But then what in reality is what's happening right here.
Right here, right now. Because that's all you can affect. You can't change the past, and you're not going to alter the future. You're not some superhero. Like,
you're not going to go to the scoreboard and be like, can you take off that miss? Like, I went 7 for 7.
And that's why, even though I do it a ton, and it's never worked. Like arguing with refs, they're not going to change the call.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to, Alex,
I realize that right now as I'm talking, and then we play tomorrow. I'm going to complain about a call tomorrow.
You're going to listen to this in 3 weeks, and you'll be like, I'm a better player in those 2 weeks. Like, I promise you. Yeah. Like, tomorrow when it happens, you're going to look me in my eye. I'm going to be like, don't do it. I'm going to be like, don't do it, all right?
Yeah, we're going to be on that podcast mental connection.
Yeah. He actually turns around. I'm actually the ref. But, yeah. So you're tend to be the pass.
Oh, big time.
Because I've seen it, but I'm like, don't get so down. Like, you know your work. Like, everybody on the team knows what you're capable of. Yeah. Like, even though I don't care if you go. I mean, I do care. Yeah. If you go over 10, I'm like, Alex, really? But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, everybody knows that you're
definitely.
The shooter. You're capable of that.
Definitely. And I realize that too. Like, but it's sometimes it's just hard to.
Because if you didn't realize that, you wouldn't be on the court. You wouldn't be here in Ottawa.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's yeah.
So that leads to my next one, and I'm gonna ask, what in your life, through anything, do you feel most grateful for? I guess this is kind of a broad topic.
It is.
I was thinking of these questions like over the weekend, and I was like, that's a good question. But now saying I'm like, man, you can go anywhere for this.
No, I definitely. It probably. I know I've strictly talked about family this episode, but probably like family. It's like
Hey, cue the next one. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, but
so
just
family.
Yeah, being around family it's hard to not be thankful for. You know what I mean? When you have people that support you and stuff. Like, I live 3 hours from here, and I have 8 people coming to my game on Saturday. Like, it's hard not to be grateful for that. So, yeah. I mean, and just really all relationships I've formed that have been, like, good relationships. Obviously, there's bad relationships and stuff, too. But
like you and me.
Yeah, really bad relationship. I actually hate you. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah, you know what? Just cancel the video.
Yeah. No, but just being able to, like, be friends with people and know people, kind of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Cause you treat everyone like family. That's what I've
kind of. Yeah. Like, if I'm comfortable with you, you're like, you know who I am. Yeah. You know, I am pretty closed off to people before I know them. Before I'm comfortable with them, at least. Like, I'm not. You're not.
That's
how
I am.
Yeah. You're not gonna know much about me until I'm actually comfortable with you, and then like, you can ask. I mean, anyone on the team I'm comfortable with. Yeah. I don't shut up a lot of times. Like, I'm gonna talk and.
And that's why we're doing this, because we both don't stop talking.
Yeah, you and me will just go back and forth sometimes, just saying the dumbest stuff.
This podcast is going to be 5 hours.
A mega episode.
This is just a trailer. The whole episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Just relationships, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I love family.
What are you most thankful for? Let's turn this around a little
Oh my
bit.
God, I'm getting interviewed?
Yeah.
Nah, turn it off. Who am I most grateful for?
Who or what? Yeah.
It's a good question.
See,
I
it is a
don't know
good
how you
question.
brought it up.
I thought of it on my own.
I don't know. I would just say, I mean, I want to say family,
Yeah.
but
You can take the answer.
Yeah, family's always been there.
Yeah.
But I guess I could take it to where everything is, for me, is family.
Uh-huh.
Like, sometimes I don't even know the person, and I'm like, your family.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, people at church, new people at church, or, you know? But I've always been that type of person to, like, see through other people's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I've never really liked when people on teams have been like, that guy sucks, or, you know, like, or during scout, like, man, this guy can't shoot. Like, but then I'm like, what is he thinking of us?
Yeah.
Like, you know
I think
what mean?
about that stuff sometimes too.
Like, I love thinking in people's shoes, and I take this to like relationships with my girlfriend. Of like, I'm thinking through her shoes, like how would it would make her feel if I did this, or, you know. But some people just don't see it through that.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing that sometimes. Like
because I overthink a lot of situations. Like, why did he say that? Or did Alex just like, or I was talking to Alex, or just went back on your phone. I'm like, oh, did he just shut me up? Like, but I'm not really thinking like that didn't happen. But I'm saying, like, I would the type to be like, you know, I'll try to say a joke to you, and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, like he still likes me. All right.
Yeah, just kind of like gauge a bunch of situations based off that. Yeah. No, I get that.
But I would just say, like, I guess what I'm most grateful for is like awareness of that people have, and I just feel like my awareness is so, I'm not gonna say so good, but that I could see.
That sounded so weird, by the way, when I did that.
What
I had
happened?
one on and one off.
It was like someone whispering in your right ear.
Yeah, it was wild. But go ahead.
Do you like it? Do you want to do it? Keep doing it?
No, I want to go back to normal.
Yeah, I want to go back to normal. Okay. What was I saying?
Awareness.
Do
you just not remember what you were saying?
No.
Yeah, no, but like, just being aware of what people are going through and what they're.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That I was just saying this earlier, like 10 minutes ago. Of you never said anything about your grandpa.
Yeah.
You talked about him.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I've read the situation so much that I was like, I'm pretty sure his grandpa passed away, and that I could see it through him.
Yeah.
You know.
No, definitely.
Because there's a different way of how people talk about someone when they're not here.
Yeah.
And that's how I saw it through, and I was like, oh, okay.
And that's kind of wild that you were able to do that, because I still talk about, when I do talk about him, I still talk about him like he's alive.
He's here.
Like I don't use the past tense and stuff. So that's kind of wild that you're able to pick up on that.
Yeah,
most people don't. I just talk about it like.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Obviously, this is a podcast. I'm going to open up a little bit, but when I talk to people about it, I like make it seem like he's alive, just so I don't get like the pity, like, oh, I'm sorry, like, because I don't really want to get into that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to be like a sob story when I'm talking to people just about random stuff. But that's kind of wild. You're able to like.
You say it as an icebreaker for
Yeah.
college. Something people don't know about you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just depressed. That's how I started.
Here we go. Alex, you get skipped. But yeah, that's something I'm most grateful for, is that, you know, and then I feel like it's led me to this, to where like I want to hear your story. And there's things that I didn't know about you. Like, I wouldn't have known anything about you.
And you've kind of opened my eyes to that, in the sense that we both listen to podcasts.
I'm getting a compliment.
Yeah, no. We both listen to podcasts, and like mainly Joe Rogan, kind of like that's where our similarities are. And before, I would like scroll through episodes until I like knew the person he was talking to. You know what I mean? Just so I like was familiar with both.
Yep.
And then you were telling me about that one where he had a beekeeper on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, why would Zach listen to a beekeeper podcast?
Did you listen to it?
No, I haven't listened to that one yet. But it's because I'm still catching up on some other ones.
You're watching all 1900.
Yeah. I'm on episode 3. So I got a little ways to go. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Then mine after.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but yeah. So before I had to be like,
you
aware.
Had to know the person.
I had to know
something about them.
Yeah. And now his newest one I'll like watch, and I'll be like understanding of.
Yeah.
It's just, you kind of open my eyes to like wanting to
just
learn more.
Yep.
Because I used to, like, this is what I like. These are the things I enjoy. All like broaden my horizon within those things. And now it's like, I want to understand some other stuff too. I want to, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's definitely changed in how I. Because
that just goes in, what I was saying, like why I wanted to do this, because yeah, I just said this, but
Yeah, you want to learn.
I want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to learn like what you went through, and just like how your dad doesn't want you to do certain stuff that, you know, like doesn't want you to fall on that same path. Maybe you don't want me to fall on this. We're the same age, but you don't want me to fall on the same path.
Yeah.
And there's probably things that I did. Like,
Exactly.
That you.
Yeah. And it's kind of like.
That's just life, I think. Like we were talking about.
But it's crazy because it takes me coming on your podcast to like we've been teammates for
a year.
We're around, we're with each other every day essentially. But it's like you and me had to like sit down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To
like no one's learn
more things. Like I'm not just gonna walk up to you in the locker and be like, hey.
Yeah, mid
Who's the most influential people in your life? Mid practice.
Yeah, mid timeout. Like name 3 influential people. Yeah. I get it.
I'm actually gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
To you during
timeout. Like game winner.
Yeah.
Alex, go shoot it, and then you're just be like, "What are you most grateful for, Keely?"
Keely. I'm asking my defender as he's like guarding me.
Turns into a High School Musical. He just starts standing. Or college school musical.
College musical.
College.
Ottawa University of Arizona.
Faith Arena musical. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna star. I'm Troy Bolton, bro. Like,
yeah.
I'm him.
Well, I don't know another character, so we can both be Troy Bolton. Just give me one. I'll be that.
You'll be the best Vanessa Hudgens.
Okay, I'll be Vanessa Hudgens. Yeah.
So I guess last question. Okay. I've been asking this to everyone. I guess I'm gonna keep it. But I guess you already did. But what is something that you wish that I asked you?
Something. Oh, that's tough.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of where your ego gets in, and you.
Yeah.
And I guess you get to answer your own question because.
Okay.
You say it. I'll say it. Answer? What's something that the audience would love to learn about you?
See, this is a very egotistical question.
What is the meaning of life?
Yeah, well, I don't know that.
We all don't. I don't think we will know.
No. Ever. Scary.
Yeah, there's another thing you got me scared of.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, just like kind of how I got into basketball, I guess. Not into basketball, but how I got here through basketball, I guess. Just because that's where we share
that's
a path. You know what I mean?
I think it was special. Have you ever seen that TikTok of like the coaches picked everybody that's here? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Like we all 12 of us on our travel roster have been on different teams.
Yeah.
And it all led up to us to be in this one moment.
Yeah.
Of like, because I understand like coaches pick the players and all that. But like what made them pick them?
What made them pick them, and then what made us pick here?
Yep.
Because no, that is something to think about.
Yep. Because I would have met you if COVID never started. There's always
that's true.
There's things that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, because if COVID never started, I would still be in my D2 probably.
You probably wouldn't be here if you never met Joe.
Very true.
Because Joe had never been at Ottawa. Like those are things that I think about. I'm like,
I've never really put that
right before bed. I'm like, I'm like going to my head like, oh my god, that's. I need to ask someone that.
Yeah.
So how did you start basketball? Like when did you start basketball?
Yeah.
Were you always like 6'6", 6'7"?
I was always pretty tall, and then I was like, I don't know how to say this without sounding like
weird.
No, not weird. Like,
okay.
What's the word? Cocky, but.
You're always good.
No, it wasn't always that good. I was like really good through like 8th grade, and then I had surgery on my knee.
Oh wow, I never knew this.
Yeah.
What happened?
My cartilage was like separating from the bone, and then I had to get surgery, and it was like it sucked. But then I came back, and I still had that mentality, like I was like one of the best, and then I got like thrown on JV in middle school, and I was like, this is dumb, and I just started like shooting it every time, and like obviously wasn't playing that good because no one plays good when they just shoot it from damn near half court every time.
Yeah.
So then
Alex Villi from downtown.
Yeah. So then I had to take like a I just forget words.
Mindset coach.
Your dad's like, here you go. I had to like kind of take my ego away going through high school because I was a freshman JV varsity player. I wasn't like one of those 4-year varsity players.
Me neither.
So then I got on JV my junior year, or not JV, varsity my junior year, and I still wasn't like playing heavy minutes. I was playing probably like 12 a game or something. And then when my senior year came is when I kind of like turned it on. But I was playing for a coach who he was like a tough coach, a very tough coach on the court. So he put me through hell just like my senior year because I thought I was that guy again. Like, it's finally time to be that guy.
Yep.
And he would like not shoot me down because that sounds negative, but make me realize like you're not, you know, the best thing since sliced bread. Like, you're not.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're
he
not an
kind of
All-American.
leveled my head about it. Like, I had a good senior year, and then obviously committed to a school. Blah blah blah. We already got into that, but yeah, just
That's how you started.
Yeah,
And
kinda-
I like how you said, because we were talking about this in the locker room the other day. Excuse me. About like the game will humble you.
Yeah.
And in like middle school, I got cut like my 6th grade year.
Really?
I was like I was good,
Yeah.
but like my jump shot looked like Sean Marion. Mine was cash. I don't know how, but like I wish I had a video because it literally shot like Sean Marion, and it was like a backwards swish. So the ball would. I think it was because I shot with myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the ball would always come back to me like, dude, it was like if I had that jump shot now, I would have. I would have been blocked every time, but it was so cash. But
Yeah.
like I was saying, the game will humble you because that made me to change my jump shot, to spend time on my jump shot.
No, yeah, it definitely will.
Get my dad to get my boards. Like, it put time, and that's what it did to you. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you learned it at such a we learned it
definitely.
at such a young age. Of
Yeah.
don't get it,
You had
yeah.
to throw the ego
Yeah.
away.
we're not that.
And even my junior year on varsity, it was like tough for me. Like, my coach did not care about like how you felt, didn't care about feelings.
Yeah.
He called me soft probably every day of my junior year. My nickname was Charmin. So that
Charmin
sucks.
soft?
Yeah, ultra soft.
Ultra soft. Oh my god.
So I had to deal with that my whole
and you're
junior
not the
year.
mama Charmin. You're the little kid Charmin.
Yeah, I'm the little baby bear.
And now you're using wet wipes. Yeah.
I don't know if we need to get into that part of
Yeah.
the toilet paper.
Whoever's
But,
listening, do you use toilet paper or wet wipes? Because I need to know.
yeah.
The world is better.
Once you go wet wipes, you can't go back.
You don't go back at all.
Can't.
I mean, you can go
Never.
to a bidet, but
I don't know if I could use a bidet. I feel like I
that's
might
a
get
different. That's when
might
you
get a
come
little-
back next year on the podcast. We'll just talk about
Yeah.
bidet and wet wipes.
Yeah. I'll be like 6 months into using a bidet. I'll be all French.
All right, so go ahead, Charmin.
Thank you. Yeah. And then so I had to deal with that my whole junior year.
Yep.
So I was like, and that prepared, I thought it was the worst thing in the world. And then it like prepared me for my senior year when I was like, all right, screw him. He's not going to call me that. And I came in with like a different mentality. And then I ended up having like the senior year I did. Like, yeah.
In a sense, proving him wrong. but-
Kind of, yeah.
but, like,
even though
you
he
were
knew
there.
he was trying to pull that out
Yep.
of me. You know what I mean? And he's doing the same thing with my brother right now,
Mm.
he's a senior. But
I
he
just
did
saw
that.
it, the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, dude. If I saw him, I'd be like, "That's someone's brother."
No, we don't look alike at all.
You guys do look alike.
Nah, I hate when
Yeah.
people say that.
I mean, you just have red. He doesn't have redhead,
No.
right? Where do you
He
get the red from?
My dad.
Oh,
He
that's
has
right.
orange hair.
Yeah.
He's ugly.
Come on, bro.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. I remember seeing your dad at West Mall. I was like, "That's
Oh.
Alex's dad." That.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to
I was
pick
like,
out who
yeah.
his son is on
Yeah,
the
I was
court.
gonna give him my jersey. I was like, "All right, here we go. Here, go ahead, 2 Billies." Oh, down the court.
On the court. Lob to lob.
Yeah,
Throw my dad a lob.
You guys are both arguing at a ref.
Yeah, no, he gets pissed when I do that. Tells
Oh,
me-
he doesn't like it.
No, hates it. Hates it. Hates when I complain about anything.
Was your dad a baseball player? or no?
When he was a basketball player, but he was a baseball player when he was young.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he quit like 8th grade or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quit in like freshman year.
Yeah.
I just didn't.
that's one thing I wish I had stayed with longer. I
Baseball.
love baseball.
See, baseball was too slow. I played with my brother, and he was a pitcher,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like I'm gonna be cocky, but he used to throw no hitters,
Oh damn.
and I was like, bro, there's no point. Like I'd play my dad coach, so I'd
Uh-huh.
play second base as a lefty, which doesn't happen,
Yeah, that's.
and I'd play center field, left field. Don't put me in right, please. But I would be like, bro, I'm literally catching butterflies. Like I'm literally
Yeah.
like
yeah,
he's
no.
throwing no hitters. I'm like, oh, bro, can we just throw it in the middle, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
let me get a ball here.
And he's
there.
over here like throwing sliders. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah,
my
no.
God.
No, I just think baseball's so cool. Like half the game you're just chilling in the dugout with your boys, like
Yeah,
eating
eating.
seeds. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna get canceled. I used to always mess with my brother and say baseball is not a sport because it's the only sport that you can eat in. You can, bro. Like I would be in
Well,
center
I
field.
mean, you can eat in other sports if you really wanted to. I
Really
could come to the
wanted-
bench and have a couple of
But-
snacks.
Yes, but can you do that on the court? Could you run?
No,
Two.
you're right.
But
Oh,
baseball,
I guess you are on the field eating seeds too. I didn't think
Yeah,
about. Yeah, you are.
I can pull a hot dog out of my bag.
Well, I don't think anyone does that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure someone has.
In the outfield?
Yeah. Not probably in that
They
major
just pull like a
leagues.
plate of spaghetti out of their pants.
Damn, mom. This spaghetti good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No,
Baseball's fun. Baseball's fun.
I love
Those
it.
are some good,
Yeah.
like, good people play baseball. I believe.
Yeah.
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 Like
I mean, growing up,
basketball.
all my
Yeah.
best friends were baseball players, and even still to this day.
Yeah. Basketball is kind of on the side of, like, not cocky, but, like,
Yeah.
there's a
Kind
difference
of,
between.
everyone thinks they're him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But baseball's like, hey, man. Hey, man. But yeah, I think that wraps it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's,
Do you want to say like your socials or
No.
like you want to put your link tree down or
yeah. I'm not gonna say that.
yeah. Yeah, let's keep it to yourself.
Yeah. No.
But anyone that like wants to, they
Yeah,
like Alex Villi's story and I want to follow him.
I think I'm gonna give it my best shot up to what I think it is. I think it's Alex Villi 24 on Instagram.
And I'm pretty sure if you type in Alex Villi, something's gonna pop
I
up.
can't imagine there's that
Yeah.
many of us.
Look,
Yeah.
it's your dad, all your uncles, and then you.
Yeah, I'm the last one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is that good?
That was good.
Okay. So follow this podcast's on Instagram at Zachary's _ Metamorphosis, where the E is a 3 and the 2 O's are zeros. Once again, Zachary's _ Metamorphosis. Thank you for listening, and remember to always come back to the breath.